Welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with P.I. McLeod. That's me. Look at that Onslaught cover coming up. Yay! Kind of bittersweet. I used to use them a lot more. Had a fun time with Professor X, Onslaught, and Nightcrawler. You can make a pretty nasty Winfinite with them. But haven't really touched them in a while. You know, other characters like Shang-Chi and whatnot kind of made things even faster. But oh well, anyways, I digress. What are we here for today? Well, I mean, we can look at the palest of pale characters to ever grace us. Gore the God Butcher for just a moment. You know what, might as well. I'm not really here for this one purpose today, but hey, while we're here, let's look at them real quick. I looked at him earlier, and I don't want to say I'm impressed, so that's not 100% true. He is only a 4-star, which is kind of weird. I think a big old Thor bad guy from the MC would probably be 5-star, but my mind's not in the right place. You know, I mean, ever since we got Okoye and other non-super peoples as 5 stars, I keep forgetting I just got to put those expectations on the back burner. Anyways, so this one, you know what? I should come back to this one because this one really doesn't shine until you get to the other powers. Let's start with Nightmare Fuel. So for 7 yellow, you create 3 2-turn repeaters, and if I crank it up, it's 3 1-turn 4 to 5 repeaters at level 4 and level 5. Anyways, that deal some damage to a random enemy. You have at 4 or 5, you get 5 tiles out. At 3, you get 2-turn repeaters, and you can only get 4 of them out. But anyways, more importantly, the passive, at the start of the battle, you get 3 repeater tiles. Only 2 at level 3. And for each of those these shadow minions on the board, you get 10% less damage taken from enemy matches and abilities. And that's for each of those out there, not just for one of them, for each of them. And so you get 3 of those to start, and you can put them out there for 7. Wait, we're not done. So while he has 1 or more shadow minion on the board, he takes no extra damage from enemy strikes. So strikes do, so in other words, kitty rocket combos he just laughs off. And when one of Gore's shadow minions is destroyed, he gets 2 yellow AP. That's pretty crazy. So it's another way to get quick yellow AP to help you put out more Nightmare Fuel, to help you get this rolling some more. That's pretty cool. On top of that, you this purple passive, Your Own Weapons, blah blah blah, flavor text, start of battle, and whenever an enemy places more than 6 strike attack projectiles on a board or turn. So it's going to happen right at the beginning, and then whenever you get more than 6 of those placed. So in other words, it's anti-Polaris. Let's just call it what it is. At the start of the turn, Gore converts all new tiles of those types into basic tiles. At the start of the battle. So Rocket puts out his strikes and you get them? That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Anyways. So at the start of the battle, and whenever an enemy places more than 6 strike, you convert all new tiles of those types. Beta Ray Bill. Protects are yours, right in the beginning? Is that what I'm reading here? Anyways, dealing damage per tile and increasing his match damage by this total. Evenly divided among his tile strengths. Gore then creates 4-turn countdown tile. Well, let's crank it up. Level 5 says more than 3. So yes, it totally is anti-Beta Ray Bill, anti-Polaris, anti-anyone putting tiles out in the beginning. And anytime someone creates a good amount, 3 or more, in an ability, which happens kind of often nowadays, you know. Damage per tile. You create a 2-turn countdown tile, dealing damage equal to 3 times the converted total match damage. I mean, the countdown tile isn't that big of a deal, but still, it's something extra. Of course, Kitty has an answer for that, but even then, do you really want to bring Kitty in when Kitty's whole shtick relies on special tiles, and this guy's like, yeah, I'll take those, please. Thank you. That's pretty good. And then finally this, you know, it takes like 9 black, and let's see, 9 black. I'm just looking at this, kind of trying to trim the thoughts down here. $42 damage to a random minion. Let's crank it up. I'm sorry. Deals damage to a random enemy for each of Gore Shadow's minions on the board. Then if the target has less than 30% health remaining, down them. Which we haven't seen something like that since like 3-star Punisher's red ability. It's kind of cool. Otherwise, Gore deals damage equal to 20% of the target's maximum HP, ignoring all strike and projectiles. That's pretty cool. I mean, he's only 4-star. His match damage and hit points aren't going to be as big as you think they should be. But when you take all this package together, he might be pretty good. A good support character. And you can use this black to definitely help you trim the fat on people. I mean, take Gore here and team him up with 5-star God Emperor Doom, who literally can steal black and yellow AP by having the enemy match it for him. He's going to generate it faster. And of course, you know, use this guy's black if you want to kill someone instantly when they're down low enough on health. Or you can use GED's black if you just need to do a bunch of damage real quick. I think the only problem with God Emperor Doom is obviously you get rid of all the enemy SAP tiles, you know, when they die, and that kind of gets rid of your own weapons. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think anyone's really complaining. I think there's good options here. Definitely not just anti-polarity, but he murders her. It's almost not even fair. Oh, anyways, on to what we're doing here. We're doing Deadpool Daily. We're doing Crash the Titans, because once again, I'm going on a short vacation here for this weekend, doing a little bit of camping trip. Fun note, I'm not much of a camper, but it's fun for my daughter and me to go together, so, you know, here we are. We're going to go against Dazzler. 4-star Dazzler, 535. She's not cheating. We get to one-on-one her. How do I put this? Let's talk about how she came to be. And I don't mean the character in the comics. I mean how she came to be in MPQ. Have you ever looked in the forums? You ever been online and checked out the online forums about, you know, when characters are coming out, the chat and discussion about balance, features, etc.? Dazzler was a person on the forums, a character, an entity in the chats before she became a character in this game for sure. Whenever they would tease a new character but not tell us who it is, people would like to guess Dazzler, no matter what the hints were. It was just a running joke. And it lasted a long time until one day the developers cracked, and in the teaser they came out with like, oh, yep, here she actually is, and everyone kind of gasped, like, oh, for real? Hey, Mark, how's it going, dude? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, Dazzler was really a joke character for MPQ's purposes. She wasn't created because Marvel Puzzle Quest developers were like, oh, this would be a cool character to make. They were created because everyone kind of had a running joke online on the forums, and eventually the developers were like, okay, let's do this for them. And it was pretty cool. You know, she turned out to be a pretty decent character. Her reds and greens are basically like team damage, creators. They create tiles, do damage, just generic stuff, right? But her bread and butter, the reason she has any substance in this game is her black. It's called Survivor. And if you, for every like 2 of your own friendly tiles out there, when an enemy hits her, Dazzler, for X amount of damage, for like a percentage base of damage, she will stun the opposing person on the team, on the enemy team, for 1 turn for every 2 specials you have. Oh, nice, Mark. Got your first puck cover, huh? All right, cool. So Dazzler was pretty neat when she came around because of that, because at the time Rocket was still really popular and people were trying to think like, oh wow, Rocket starts with 7 tiles. I could do like a 3-turn stun right off the rip if I can get Dazzler to tank. And that, my friends, is the hardest part. Dazzler came out long after Rocket. Because of that, everyone's Rocket is higher level than their Dazzler, unless you're a newer player since then. So all the older players that have already had a built-up Rocket, their Rockets are usually tanking for Dazzler. In other words, Dazzler never gets in front that often to tank the hit, to have her Survivor passive kick in and stun the enemy. It's a great idea, just getting her in front is the hardest thing. So while it's a fun idea, unless you started playing Marvel Puzzle Quest after Dazzler was introduced, you might have a problem getting her in front to tank. But hey, if you're newer and you have a Dazzler at high level and you can put her up there and guarantee that she's going to tank for your purposes, then sure. Put your overpowered Dazzler out there with an underpowered Rocket. Put out those 7 projectiles, and maybe like Luke Cage or I don't know, Carnage or something, someone else to make more tiles. You want more tiles out there so you can keep her tanking and at the same time stunning enemies 1 by 1. It's pretty fun. It's pretty effective. And unfortunately here, I don't think it's going to affect us too much. You're not going to really see it in action because what's going to have to happen? She's going to have to fire off her red and or her green in order to get special tiles out there. And then she's going to have to take X amount of damage to actually trigger her Survivor. So that's really what has to happen here. I mean, of course, this all depends on who we have to use, so let's check that out. Wolfsbane. This shouldn't be too hard. Honestly, I don't know why they put these 2 against each other. Let me take off these boosts. There we go. Wolfsbane, can I be completely candid? She came out of nowhere when she was released for this game. I never heard of her before. I don't keep up with the comic books in any way, shape, or form. So when she came out, I didn't know there was this character named Rain Sinclair, aka Wolfsbane. But I am happy to learn about it, as I am most anything fantasy related. Her abilities are kind of nice. I wouldn't say they're like, broken in any way, shape, or form, but when you really get down to what she does, there's some good stuff in here. This red does, it's cheap, so it only costs 6, does some decent damage to the target, and creates 4 strike tiles. Decently strength ones for being a 4-star character. Not bad. This purple makes 5 countdowns. And each of them does, a decent chunk of damage for the 7 purple cost, and they each go off 1 turn after the next. Maybe not the most ideal way to do damage, but it does create a lot of distraction for enemies that want you to have tiles on the screen to take advantage of. Well, now you got 5 of them to deal with. Kitty can't just kill the 1 countdown tile and move on. She has 5 of them to deal with. But more importantly, I said this one for last. Her black rend slash the target 5 times, each slash doing that much damage. Do you see how it doesn't talk about strike tiles? You can actually combo that with strike tiles or Okoye's passive or Apocalypse's passive. You get the point. And those 5 slashes could each be beefy. It only costs 8 black, so it's not too cheap, but it's cheap enough. And then she turns invisible? So she can't use this ability again, unfortunately, until she becomes visible. But it's okay. I mean, because while she's invisible, she's not taking any damage. You're not in any threat. You could just go ahead and go for the throat. Anyways, that's Wolfsbane in a nutshell. I don't think we'll have much of a problem here, because the only thing that Dazzler can really do to us is when we do go invisible, her Dazzler's abilities do hit the area. In other words, they can get through invisibility. So we're not going to rely on that, but then again, 5 hits of that beefy damage is probably going to be fun. Here we go. And as of course is a one-on-one, so we're going to turn on animations. Hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going, Pan? I think I get an idea of who it is there. the biggest Wasp fan I've ever met in my life. I did not forget. I didn't know this was your handle, but good to know. And I will always take a stream snipe. I don't mind the extra attention. Well, let's do this. Let's do this one-on-one here and get this rolling. I think I want to get that black rolling first, because being invisible sounds so much better than not. So I'll take this red. Okay, so I know I want that black, but at the same time there's a match 4 of red, so I'm going to take a little bit of both. Do that vertically. Oh! I didn't know Pan is Mr. Impolish. Thank you, Pan. Oh, did this with a 1-1-1? I could see that working though, DCU. I totally get it, because Wolfsbane has an invisibility option. And let's be fair, anyone who turns invisible, Miles Morales, Professor X, you get the point, has a big boost in one-on-ones. It's so much harder to take them down. Did I turn on the animations? Is that all that one does? I did. That's the only animation from that ability? It's kind of a shame. Shows you how often I see the animations. I'm gonna take this black. I know there's a critical tile there, but I'd rather fire off the abilities when I can. I'll do the black first. Why not? Well, no, that'll kill her. Let's do the animations. We want to see the animations. There we go. Yay, doggos. And now, let's kill her. Right. Invisibility is always the way. Always the way, at least for one-on-one fights. But that was it. That was Wolfbane's Crash the Titans. It's not too hard, as we stated. Use the black, get invisible. You can just, and if you really need to speed it up, use your damage boosts. There's no reason not to use those damage boosts that they give away in all the spicy vaults, that we've been pulling from forever now. Use those damage boosts, get invisible, finish off the fight, get your legendary token. Well, that's about it for me. Yes, Pan, I am. This is actually being uploaded into YouTube after this is done, which is here in just a second. To be fair and quite honest, I'm still on the clock, but it's my lunch break, so I figured I'd get in this Crash the Titans real quick. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining the stream, and I'll upload this right away, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, everybody.